What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's Mello. And we got a surprise guest for you, but I'm going to wait before we get through all this introduction stuff, and then we'll bring him on, man. I figured it was a good day to just sit back and watch a scum t-shirt burn for a minute, man. We had a little something in the news today, right? We're going to get into a little bit of that, but not much at all, maybe like 5 minutes. But first off, Mello, how was your day, bro?
Man, I'm good, man. Had a great day. Hit the gym this morning, crushed it. Met up with one of my brothers from day one, really. Like I've known him since I was five. We grew up together in Jersey. Went on a nice little 3 mile trail hike, talked about God and Jesus the entire time, the entire conversation. A lot has happened in his life, a lot has happened in my life. So we got to talking about that, got to talking about scripture verses and everything. So it was a great day. And I mean, I see that fire hat you got on.
Yeah. Little new hat, man. You guys know, not really my style hat, but it is now, dude, because I love it. This is kind of like the red one I was looking for, except the red one had no stripe down the middle, and it
Hmm.
just was red with a bunch of Buckeye leaves.
That
That's
looks like
that's
the
the one
helmet,
I
bro.
wanted, man. But yeah, I like it, dude. I like it. It's pretty sick, man. I got a couple more I'll be wearing these next couple days, but on that note, man, we're gonna go. We've got a good show planned tonight. We've got a lot of Buckeye Boys awards that we're going to be handing out, the preseason ones. Chat, we need you guys involved tonight. When we talk about it, we're going to do like favorite coaches, most improved offensive defensive player, and we're projecting here. So we're projecting, and then we're going to go over these at the end of the year and see how much we got right. Like we're going to go best offensive coach, best defensive coach, best coordinator, and they got two options, but we're going to pick one, and then we'll see what we got right at the end of the year, and we need you guys involved. But first, man, got a little bit of news, right? We're going to talk about, and we got a guest on tonight that's going to help us talk about that. The one, the only Intrinsic. Intrinsic, what's up, brother?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Doing good, doing
Good, buddy.
good. I got so Intrinsic, I got your post pulled up. I can't make it any bigger, but I got the post pulled up of On Three coming out, right, saying that the Ohio State Buckeyes have banned Dave Potty Boy, right, from coming into the stadium. And since then, Ross Dellinger released something saying no, it was Fox News. Dave Portnoy dropped a video saying no, it was Ohio State. A bunch of the Ohio State media is going around saying no, it was Ohio State. Fill us in, man. Where are you at with this? What's going on, man? And just give us your thoughts on this.
Yeah, so I fell into this because yesterday I got sent something and I just made a post because essentially it was Austin Ward and Bobby Carpenter on the show talking about how, oh, he's not welcome in the stadium, that being Dave Portnoy. And there was like serious talks about him might not being welcomed and what that looks like for Big Noon. That's all it was them just talking on a radio show saying that. I posted it, added Dave Portnoy. Next thing you know, he responds to a tweet. So, anyways, this tweet blows up. Dave Portnoy sees it, and then 3 hours later, Front Office Sports says we have sources confirming that Ohio State banned Dave Portnoy. Right. So, and they said they had sources. Which, anyways, so snap forward to today. Ross Dellinger says no, that's not what happened. And Fox Sports, in collection with the Big Ten and other Big Ten members, decided to not have him on the main stage, citing his toxic personality and it being directed at him specifically. And for you guys that are listening, Ross Dellinger, he's the Adam Schefter of college football. That guy knows what he's talking about. He does a very good job. He's a straight shooter. So his track record speaks for himself. So regardless, if you look at it, front office sports and then one, okay, so I forgot the one part. So one sports then copies front office sports reporting saying that this is confirmed he's banned from the stadium. And I'm almost certain that came from my post.
Yeah.
basically, which is the insanity of one sports, because my post starts going viral, right? Next thing you know, front office sports says, I have sources. And by the way, this was repeated by some guy who was a former New York, he was a former journalist. He's no longer is. So this started spreading as like a rumor with sources. One sports picks it up and then tries to make Ohio State look bad, basically, which I don't even think it makes them look bad, but regardless, and it just turned into this rumor, and this whole thing blew up to the point where Ross Dellinger has to step in and say, hey, I've talked to both the Big Ten, I've talked to Ross Bjork. Ohio State itself issued a statement, and it's very clear that Ohio State, other Big Ten schools, he didn't list which one, but a collection of other Big Ten schools, and most importantly, the Big Ten itself and conference commissioner did not want him on the stage at these games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the video I saw, right? So, I saw this play out. But first off, Mello, before I go into my little thing, give me your thoughts, bro. What's up?
I'm happy he's banned. He doesn't deserve the access and the luxury to go to the shoe. I don't care if people are like, oh, you're soft. You're gonna see how soft we are. That's why I'm wearing this natty hat, and you're not, because we're the softest program and the softest team in America. If that's what it takes, and I want to be the softest team of all time, I want to be Charmin soft, kind of like Jerome Moore, right? So I'll take the natties. You could call us soft, but we beating your team.
Yeah. So the first place I saw this intrinsic was on con three, as I like to call them. Man, they're on a roll. They're on a roll. Yesterday, they put Chris Henry Jr. on Flip Watch, and I blew them up. I went on their page, I went on their YouTube things, and I'm telling them, hey, you guys, grown men, need to stop lying about these guys. But anyway, so I saw them put that out, right? And I'm like, yo, what's going on here? Then I see Bobby Carpenter's show where he essentially said Ohio State banned him. Then I see him go on another show with another Ohio State guy, and they say, yeah, Ohio State doesn't want him in there. And then I watched the show with that reporter that you just said, what's his name? Ross Dellinger. Yeah, where he said, hey, man, this was known a while ago that a lot of Big Ten teams were not interested in having Dave Portnoy involved in this because of the way that he spoke about the Big Ten when the Big Ten punished scum in the mid-season, right? That was what he was pointing at as kind of the main thing here. So this wasn't just Ohio State. This was the Big Ten stepping in and saying, hey, man, we really don't want this. And then somehow Fox. But either way, it got painted that Ohio State in particular banned Dave Portnoy, which to me personally as a fan, do I think he deserves to be in there? No. From what he talks and the lies that he spreads, the chaos that he spreads, and the misinformation, man, he just you know how Twitter is like a not reality. It's kind of most of it is not reality. People just post random things on there and they get a bunch of clicks, and like I do that on my own account, by the way, FYI, for people that read stuff sometimes and like, what the heck's going on? That's what Dave Portnoy thrives off of, that. And then Dave Portnoy comes on and does a video stating that he's known for a couple weeks now that he was not allowed in the horseshoe, but he just didn't want to ruin that friendship he had that new friendship with Fox Sports and cause this to be a big deal. And then he nags at Ross Bjork for coming out and saying it. Long story short, I do not believe that Ohio State in particular banned Dave Portnoy. I believe this was a decision that was made kind of above their head, but people are latching onto this, making it sound like, Ohio State is the one that did it. If I'm just being honest, if Ohio State did that, I don't think they need to do that, right? I think we let Dave Portnoy keep running around acting like an idiot, because if you have half a brain, you know that when that dude talks, I mean, he is simply one thing on his mind, and that is to farm engagement with the Ohio State, the largest fan base in the nation. That's what he's going to do. He'll do and say whatever. So I think he came out and blatantly lied and said, when he said Ohio State banned him. But what are your thoughts, Intrinsic? Do you think this was the Big Ten / Fox Sports saying, hey, we just don't want a part of it? Or do you think Ohio State came in and said, hey, no, you're not allowed to be a part of this?
I think it was a culmination of everything. Okay, so
Yeah.
to my understanding, hearing Austin Ward mention this, he's not welcome in Ohio Stadium, and that dates back. So that dates back to all the stuff he pulled. You gotta understand this guy was accusing Ryan Day's brother. He said that he has, he did the whole Chris Ballas thing about Ryan's Day's brother. He held protests. I mean, he does a whole monkey and circus show, basically attacking Ohio State, right? So he's just not welcome in the stadium. I think that was just a pressure that had already existed. And given how he is as a toxic person, if you really look at how toxic he is specifically, and it's a lot of the inflammatory comments he makes, I think a lot of Big Ten schools are like, I do not want this guy in my stadium. I do not want him on television representing my school, essentially. Not representing exactly, but being in front of the voice in front of my school. So I think it was a culmination of pressures. He also like went on a war on the Big Ten over the Connor Stallion stuff. He attacked the commissioner directly. He then went after the Big Ten. So I think Ohio State pressured him. I think probably Michigan State pressured him. I think most Big Ten schools are not happy with Dave Portnoy being on Big Noon for these games because it's not. If you look at his stuff, it's not kid friendly. It's not family friendly. He uses a lot of cursing, a lot of drinking. I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff that they just do not want him to be a part of it. And Ross Dellinger, so what I had posted probably an hour or two ago, Ross Dellinger said this is specifically about Dave Portnoy in his prior comments. And so I'd also ask you guys, if Ohio State has the power to basically dictate Fox Sports's Big Noon kickoff, wouldn't they have the power to get night games, right?
Right.
How is all of a sudden
Yes.
Ohio State so powerful and influential? I think they are a piece. Do I Ross Bjork like denies that he did it? I don't think they came out and said he's banned. I think everyone is telling the truth in some way, in their own way. And it's a culmination of all that, which has led to Fox Sports saying, okay, we entered this partnership. We didn't realize there'd be so much backlash from Big Ten member institutions and the Big Ten itself that it's just easier for them to just pull away from that. That's how I see it.
Yeah. No, that actually makes a lot of sense. But I mean, if you're a person with a little bit of understanding of this world and you want this world to be a better place and all that stuff, you can look and see what Dave Portnoy does, what his company is about, and just kind of how he presents himself and understand that, man, if you involve him in something, he is going to bring that attitude and all those things with him, that the cussing, the spreading the lies, the engagement farming stuff. Well, he will say and do whatever, and he that's just who he is, man. And that's kind of the personality that I have seen the whole scum fan base kind of shift to.
Yeah.
Like when you look at Dave Portnoy, he seems to be kind of like the leader of the whole mentality of that whole fan base now, and it's discouraging, honestly, to see somebody with such power over a fan base, and now Fox hires him, knowing what he's been doing to not just Ohio State but the Big Ten, and just everywhere he goes, he lies and causes chaos, and it's just not good, man, at all.
But
But
but Devin Mill, let me tell you this. Everything you're talking about has nothing to do with football. This is a
correct.
football show, right? Like he takes away from the game. Like I feel like that's a big issue that some people have is like what does he have to offer to football? That's what Bobby Carpenter even said. Like this guy has no experience in football, and all his comments about football is basically just trashing people. He's not even I mean, he doesn't even seem to be too much of a fan or have any knowledge of the game itself. So I think a bunch of people are like, I don't want this on my TV. I want to focus on football. And if I'm from Ohio State's perspective or any school, I want the football show on Big Noon to be talking about football and football topics and have fun with
Yeah.
it too. That's fine. But I think that's part of the issue as well. I think it was just a bad decision by Fox Sports to bring this guy on. I think they should have done the due diligence knowing the prior comments he made. And so, but people will have their own conclusions on it.
Yeah. Now, that's a really good point, man. I probably should have started with saying that, but that's a very good point, man. Mello, anything you want to add to this subject, and we'll
Brock
let
should have never
Intrinsic
hired him. It was a knee-jerk reaction because of what ESPN was doing over there for game day. And they're still not going to compete with game day. Game day just has the better personalities. Game day has people that actually know the sport, no matter how annoying they may be. But to have Dave here, what is he, the pizza guy? He blows up pizza parlors. So I won't kill him too much because I'm going to be honest, he came to my local town where I grew up. And a family that I know that has a really good pizza shop there, he saved it after COVID. Like, he invested a lot of money in it. So I won't kill him too much because I know that family personally. But outside of that, he really offers nada to football. I mean, no one's going to watch it. Their numbers are going to keep plummeting. They should have went, if they were smart, they would have went and like bought Tebow out or go get somebody like that with a big personality that people love.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt, man. Intrinsic, any final words on this topic? Me and Miller are going to dive into some Ohio State football.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to watching your guys' game. That's going to be the game of the week. So thanks for having me on. Yeah, I think everybody's telling a little bit of the truth in their own side of the story on this. I think at the end of the day, it's football season. Let's keep it to football. And I will be rooting for you guys. I always root for the Big Ten. So
yeah, appreciate that, man.
We're to it. You guys take care.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're working on ways to get you back on. We'll have some other shows with you for sure. We appreciate you joining us, Intrinsic. Have a blessed day, brother.
You too. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Later.
Yeah, man. Sorry I keep swatting, man. There are these two gnats, dude, in my room, and I cannot stand gnats. And it's like when a gnat lands on something, it's so small. Like, I can't be smacking my laptop. You know what I mean? Or it lands on my drink. You can't smack your drink. So it's almost like you try to gently touch them, like it's on my screen right now. But you can't really, I can't get them, man. It's very annoying. So
you have to ignore them.
I don't think
let
I
it
can,
land
man.
on your person and then kill it.
Yeah, and take a big old whack out of it. But yeah, we didn't want to spend too much time on that topic. It's annoying, man. They have, and Johnny Odom, a Michigan fan in the chat, said Texas by 50. What up, Johnny? Appreciate you joining.
He's about to be disappointed on Saturday too.
Yeah, probably.
He's gonna be big time.
Probably is. Yeah, definitely. Not probably. He is going to be disappointed. But let's dive into it, man. These Buckeyes. Coming up, Texas game. We got a list. We got these ideas of what we think about this team, what we think about what freshmen are going to contribute, what the linebackers are going to do. We have all these ideas, and you guys in the chat, you do as well, right? So we're going to go down that list and kind of organize our thoughts and our ideas right now. And at the end of the season, we'll see how good our preseason ideas end up, what the truth is. Because the truth is right now, nobody knows nothing. They just don't, man. We don't even know anything. They got to go do it on the field. We can think all we want, and we can have some pretty good ideas based off what certain people did last year. But this is a new year, all new everything, new teammates, new coordinators. We'll see what they're going to do. So let's dive into it. But before that, chat. The super chats are open, man. And also on our Buckeye Boys channel, become a member if you would. It's $1.99. If you watch us a lot, become a member. Again, anything that gets poured into this channel gets put right back out, man. So we want to be giving away more tickets and stuff. So any support you can do there by subscribing, sharing the video, commenting under the video on our Buckeye Boys channel. That helps us grow that channel a lot. And also, you guys already know the Scoop channel as well. Anything you can do to support them as well. But let's dive into it, Mello. Let's start with the coaches. Offensive side of the ball, chat, you're in on this too. At the end of the year, what offensive coach are you going to look at and say, man, that's the best offensive coach we have on staff right now?
For me, it's B. Hartline.
Dang, I didn't even include him in it. I included him in the coordinators, but that's a very, very good pick. Yeah. Very good pick. Yeah, no doubt. I got Coach Locke, man. I got Coach Locke. I think going from Travion Henderson to Quinshon Judkins, people are kind of expecting like this big drop off, as quite frankly, we probably should, right? Those are 2 first round, second round, and the second round draft picks, but we know that's first round talent running backs right there, 2 of them. Okay. But we got James Peoples and CJ Donaldson. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. You got anything to add to that? And we'll go to the defensive side of the ball.
If I'm going to take Brian Hartline out of the coordinator position, I'm going to take Tyler Bowen, because I think we're going to have the best offensive line in the country. I think people are going to find out when they neutralize Texas's front seven, because they're so big on Texas front seven. I think that's when people are going to realize, like, this O-line is legit. And so if I'm taking Hartline out of the equation, I'm taking Tyler Bowen. But also don't forget about Bo Jackson. He's going to do some good stuff this year too.
Yeah. Quentin, our Texas guys in the chat, says the bet still stand. Well, we're not allowed to bet on YouTube. We do not bet on this channel whatsoever. We don't, but we're just not allowed to do it on YouTube, or they'll ban us. But hey, Quentin, shoot us an email at thebuckeyeboys with 3 Z's at gmail.com. We can have a conversation over there, but we don't back down from what we say. So, defensive side of the ball, I'll go first here, just because, man, it's Larry Johnson, man, and it's Larry Johnson because a lot of people are just underestimating this defensive line. They're underestimating the depth we have at the defensive line, and again, it's almost like rightfully so, right? You can't underestimate them because we lost 4 to the draft. But I think at the end of the year, we're going to look at this defensive line. And because there are such low expectations from the majority of the fan base, they are going to surpass the expectations from the fan base. So Larry Johnson will be my defensive player. And I also want to throw this in. He's not going to be done after this year. He's going to coach 1 more year. He's going to wait till Edric Houston leaves, and then Larry Johnson will no longer be the defensive line coach at Ohio State.
So this is where I'm at with that. You stole my guy. I have LJ for the exact same reason. I think the D-line is going to be top 5 nationally. It's going to prove on Saturday, which we really won't know because I do not rank Texas O-line that high, very highly. I think we're going to absolutely dominate the O-line. That's one of the big reasons I think Ohio State wins this game on Saturday. Just because people don't, or they're not paying attention and they don't know what is on the D line doesn't mean that the D line is not exceptional. You already heard it from a previous Michigan man that came and watched practice, and he's been touring all the campuses, and Flau said it's top 5 D line. They got NFL dudes everywhere. That's the floor, he said. He said, now we'll see what the ceiling is, but it's top 5 D-line. And we know it from being on the team. K-Mac was in on every goal line stop that they had every season. Any short yardage stop, K-Mac was there. He's disruptive. He lost a little bit of weight, so he's gotten quicker. His energy levels are higher. Then you have Edric Houston in the middle. He has 7-foot long arms, not wingspan, long arms. So he's going against little shorter armed centers and guards. How are they going to fully lock out on him? And he's a defensive end, so he's super athletic and quick. And I watched him in high school. He's a beast down here for Buford High School. So at the end of the day, I think our D-line is going to be exceptional. But to go at a different route, since you picked it, I'm taking James Laurinaitis. I think our linebacker is going to end the season as the best linebacker room in the country. I will say because you have to tip your hat to UGA and Texas right now, but I think by the end of the year, it's going to be pretty consensus that Ohio State has the best linebacker room in the country.
Yeah, I mean, James Laurinaitis is the first one that popped in my head, but I wanted to think about it a little bit, and the expectations for the linebackers are All-American, right? So that's my only reason I didn't choose him, but I mean, James Laurinaitis, several of our coaches, they're just elite, man. So this was a hard one to do, and depending on what you used as your floor here and deciding your answer is going to be different.
Okay. Dave, before you move on though, how much did the DC change help factor into you picking the D line? Because we know Jim Knowles was more of a contain. And I think what people are going to find out on Texas, he's going to free release these linebackers. There's going to be a lot more pressure coming off the edge. He's going to let them use their athleticism. He's not constraining them as well. So how much did that factor into your decision?
I'm gonna be honest, it didn't. I didn't even think about that. Everything you said is true. I just didn't think about that aspect of it. I looked at the players in general and as a unit. I didn't really think of the scheme type of style. But we got a lot of awards we're gonna have. I mean, we will. This is going to be a very long show, and we will talk about every position group multiple times by the time we're done with this. But out of the coordinators, at the end of the year, Mello, which coordinator are you going to look at and be more happy with, Hartline or Matt Patricia?
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be ecstatic with both of them. Let's just make that clear. I think we're going to have a top 5 offense, top 5 defense. But with that being said, I think a lot of people are sleeping on this defense. So I absolutely have to lean on Matty Patricia as being the top coordinator on the team, because I think the defense is going to be ridiculously elite.
Yeah. Man, I chose Matty P too. I just think at the end of the year, we're going to look at this defense and we're going to say, hey, it exceeded our expectations. And that's just, it's really kind of unfair how I do it, because it's like I have those expectations for the offense already of just being the number one offense in the nation. So it's kind of hard to, but I think we're going to be very happy with, both coordinators. So let's get into the team, man. We're going to do most improved. So which players on both sides of the ball, we're going to watch them the first game, maybe be a little upset, but by the end of the year, they're going to be killing it. I'm going to go first on offense.
Go ahead.
I'm going Julian Sayin, man. And that doesn't mean he's going to have a bad first game. I just think when you turn on the film for the Texas game, I think he's going to do well enough to win the game. And by the time you watch the 13th game of the season or the last game of the season, you're going to see a way more improved quarterback in Julian Sayin. That is my prediction. Who you got on offense is most improved?
Yeah, I misunderstood the assignment, so I apologize. I thought
I know it's hard.
Most improved from like last season, so I'll do that.
Oh yeah,
but I agree with you. If we're gonna do it the way you do it, I pick the same exact person. Yeah. But how I did it was most improved over the season. So I did mostly returners, right? So for offense,
your way is probably the best way. Honestly,
for offense, I took Tegra. I think Tegra is going to have a big year this year.
Yeah.
I think he was a little inconsistent last year. I think he takes a huge step this year, and he tightens up, and he's going to help the O-line win the Joe Moore Award.
Yeah. Who you got on defense?
For defense, I did the same way. So I took IGB, Davidson Igbinosun, because I think he's going to fix his penalty issues. He led the country in penalties, right? So literally, he led the country in penalties last year. I think he's working on getting his head around and not physically touching people. He's always in phase when he's playing DB's position. He just wasn't getting his head around, and he would freak out and just grab someone. So I think they're going to fix that for him, and I think he's going to turn himself into a top 2 draft pick in terms of first or second round.
Yeah. Honestly, the answer I picked can be done both ways. I picked Edric Houston, man. I think that last year, man, when I saw him play, there was a couple flashes, but he mainly just did his job as a freshman, and that heightened how people looked at him because they knew he was a freshman, changing position groups, coming in, and simply just doing your job as a first-time freshman defensive tackle, previously defensive end, is a very, very high standard. So that being said, I think the first game, and even watching him last year, that we watch Edric Houston this year, I think by the end of the year, he is going to be another K-Mac when he's going to be making plays and he's going to stand out as a defensive tackle. And that is very, very hard to do as a defensive tackle. Hence, Tyleik Williams didn't get talked about that much last year, but you could almost put him in the same category as, not really, Donovan Jackson's above him with what he did, but Tyleik Williams was a first-round defensive tackle. Okay, so I got Edric Houston there. We're going to go with most underrated. So coming into this season, right, a player that's not being talked about enough, but by the end of the season, man, people are going to say, man, he wasn't being talked about enough. I will go first on defense this time, and then you can do both again. I got Caden Curry, brother.
That's a good one.
Curry, man. Yeah, there's several good answers in all these. I love this. I love doing this, honestly. But I think Caden Curry's going to end up starting, dude.
Yeah.
I think he's going to end up starting the way Ryan Day has been talking about him. And I also had a conversation with somebody that talks directly to one of the defensive ends, and that's what they said. They said Caden Curry, man, everybody's ecstatic with this new toy, Bo Atkinson, and they're putting him to be a starter. And that's not saying that Bo Atkinson is not at the same level or better than Caden Curry. I just think Caden Curry as a pass rush specialist is being underrated here. And at the end of the season, we're going to look back and say, y'all, dude, we should have been talking about him more. He's making impacts in this game. He just doesn't stop, man. All right. Who you got on both offense and defense?
Well, with Caden Curry, I picked him a while ago that he was going to be starting. But for me, I'm gonna just switch it up because I'm gonna use how you're using it. So for me, most underrated, I would have to go with someone they're not talking about enough, Jalen McLean. And I'll get to that later. I'll talk more in depth on why, because I put him in another award, so I don't want
Gotcha. Yeah.
Right now.
We probably got the same award. And by the way, everybody's, as you can notice, everybody's answers are probably going to be a little bit different. For example, the reason I didn't choose Jalen McLean here is because I already look at him as a star, right? Coming into this first game, I think he's that dude already, right? But the way you're looking at it, I mean, that's awesome. That's a great pick for sure. Who you got on offense most underrated?
Offense, I guess he isn't the most underrated, but I do think he's kind of underrated if you look at nationally. And I've been in Texas chats a lot, and they've been kind of like dogging this dude. I'm going Austin Serville, and he's got the big matchup against Colin Simmons. I think he's going to hold his own.
Yeah, that's a good pick, man. I got CJ Donaldson. Two players popped in my mind: Brandon Ennis and CJ Donaldson. I got CJ Donaldson. I don't consider Brandon Ennis underrated because of what I think about him. He's a 5-star receiver. He's a stud. CJ Donaldson, I think, again, by the end of the year, we're going to be like, wow, man, which in order for my Coach Locke prediction to be true, CJ Donaldson has to do this. He has to be underrated and by the end of the season doing well. Let's go for most valuable. Most valuable player on offense, most valuable on defense. The most valuable player on offense, man, for me, and again, I took a different route here. I mean, normally you'd say the quarterback because he's the most. I mean, obviously the quarterback runs the thing, but I just chose J.J. Smith, man, I mean, because
not a bad choice. I'm not gonna lie.
every team is going to scheme Ohio State for what? For J.J. Smith.
Yeah,
they're gonna when they watch the film, he's number one on the list. How do we shut down J.J. Smith? It's not going to be how do we shut down Julian Sayin? It is how do we shut down J.J. Smith?
You're 100% correct.
Yeah.
No, that is the right answer, because if something happened, God forbid, I'm gonna pray that it doesn't, knock on wood. But say JJ had to sit out a game or two because he had an emergency or something, he had to go home or something.
I like that emergency. Yeah, that's better. Okay.
Like it would hurt the offense drastically because now they're going to scheme differently. JJ takes so much attention away from everyone else that everyone else gets to eat. He's literally going to make guys first rounders just by being on the field without doing anything else. So that's the actual answer. But I went with Julian Sayin because I think we're going to go as far as Julian Sayin takes us. He's going to have to use all his weapons. He's going to have to analyze the defense pre-snap. He has to have a quick processing brain, and he has to stay upright and avoid getting hit hard. And he has to be a good decision maker. So for me, it was Julian Sayin. That's what my answer is.
Well, this is a real tough one for defense, man. Who's your defensive most valuable player?
The smartest player in all of college football.
I know.
Caleb Downs. He is legit the best safety I've ever seen in college, and he is easily the smartest player that I've seen or experienced. So Caleb Downs, it was a no-brainer for me.
Mello, I didn't tell you this, but what I did here is my next set of things. We also have an overall most valuable player of the whole team.
Right.
So I didn't pick Caleb Downs here because that's my answer for him there. The most valuable player on this team, you'll answer that next, Mello, is Caleb Downs for me. You know how I feel about my defensive tackles.
I know
most valuable.
And I know who's going
defense. So I know it's K-Mac, baby. It's that K-Mac, dude. It's that K-Mac, man. I think we've got to stop the run. I mean, I know everybody wants to say Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese. I get it, but it's like, man, if we don't got them big dudes up front, then hey, we don't really stand a chance. To be honest with you.
Great choice.
But Mello, give us your switching a little bit. This is overall offense and defense combined. Who's your player, dude? Who's
just
the
of
one
the team of the whole team, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I pick Optimus Prime, man. J.J. Smith.
Okay.
He's the best player in college football. It's pretty 1A, 1B between him and Caleb Downs, but I'll give it to him because I mean, it's really tough to pick between them because they both change how an OC and a DC are going to attack and game plan. They have to know where they are. They have to scheme around them, literally, especially in college. So for me, I'm going JJ Smith.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a wrong answer either. I picked Caleb Downs, but I mean, dude, it was that toss up there. But I went with Downs
Yeah.
because to understand his value on this team, Mello, you're actually the one that taught me this. You have to understand football at a different level than I used to and still kind of do, right? Like as a normal average fan, when you watch the game, Caleb Downs, if he's not making an interception or a tackle for a loss, you're not like, oh my God, look at that play. But he did so many little things last year that when you dive into the film and you look, which I've been trying to become better at, you understand how much of impact he had on the entire defense. Okay,
Yeah.
so here we go. Favorite player, just on the entire team, just your favorite player, man.
You know, I
Could
had
be
to go with KJ, man. Kenyatta Jackson.
Yeah,
That's my favorite
yeah,
player on the team right now.
yeah. Hey, man, dude. Man, I got K-Mac, dude. I got K-Mac, man. I'm a big
That's
fan,
not a
dude.
bad choice.
I got K-Mac, man. And again, that there is no explanations for these. We'd had a little. That's a little fun one there. So I'm
Yeah,
interested.
chat. Who's your favorite
Chat.
player?
Yeah, favorite player on the team, personality, faith, on field, whatever, man, whatever. If you had to
I got
pick
a lot
one,
of them,
who's
be honest with you, but I went with
I do
KJ.
too.
I
Yeah,
could have easily went with Devin Sanchez. I could have went with Riley. I could have went with TJ. But yeah, there's a lot of them.
yeah. We got Carnell Tate, Ennis,
I love
JJ,
Ennis.
Caleb. Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, that's a hard one. Look, Mika can't even pick one. She just picks JJ and K Mac. Kenyatta
That's very
Jackson.
hard. Luke is a beast. I like that one.
Yeah, Luke. There you go. Jeffrey's on my side there. Good, man. All right, here we go. Leader, entire team, overall leader. The Buckeyes answered that for us already. This is kind of a, I don't know why I put this one in here. We already know the
No,
answer.
because
But
we're picking ours.
yeah, we're picking it. But I picked Sonny Styles.
Okay.
No.
Oh man, you know what? It's crazy. I didn't even think about him when I did this. That's sad.
That's good.
Right?
That's good. No, it's not. That's good, man. Because that means it's still. Who'd you pick, bro? Probably Caleb Downs.
I picked Bi, Brandon Ennis.
Oh, he's a captain, bro. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I picked
there ain't no
Ennis
wrong.
because I think he has a big personality. I think he's
Yeah.
gonna bring that unity and the calmness to the offense when they need it and bring that fire because Emeka was that guy last year that did all that. So Emeka's gone, right? He's about to be the number one wide receiver and target for Tampa Bay and for that team out there. So someone had to fill those shoes. And I feel like BI has been a leader of this team the entire time he's been here, even though he wasn't getting reps.
Yeah, no doubt, man. All right. We're going to do offense now. Strictly offense here. Let's try to cruise through these rather fast. And then when we get done, we can go back and pick and talk about some of our picks that we want to. Receiving yards. You go first.
B.I. I just think he's going to get targeted more.
I got J.J. Smith with the most receiving yards. Most receptions, I have B.I. Who you got for the most receptions?
I have J.J.
Max Clear. You got J. Okay.
No, I don't think tight end's going to lead any of those stats.
All right. Yards after the catch. Who you got?
I got Carnell.
I got Max Clear. Max Clear. Yards after the catch. Chat, you keeping up with us here? Good. All right. Rushing yards. Mello.
James Peoples.
James Peoples is my answer as well. Why'd I switch this? Reception touchdowns.
Receiving touchdowns. Yeah, I got JJ.
Yeah. I got Max Clear. Anyway. Rushing touchdowns.
I actually got CJ here. Donaldson.
Yep. That's who I picked to the bigger back, right? All-purpose yards.
I got Brandon Ennis because he does kick returns, punt returns, and he's going to be a wide out.
Nice.
Now, if they don't use him in special teams, then obviously.
Yeah. I got JJ. I think they're going to figure out ways, and that's all on the offense. So I guess I'll explain that one real fast.
Yeah.
They're going to find, because of the star that JJ is now, and they're going to be scheming specifically against JJ this year, they're going to become super creative in how to get JJ the ball. Ryan Day said that today. That is known. So he's going to be getting the ball in his hands in so many different ways. Playmakers got to make plays. They can't make plays that are needed unless the ball is in their hands on offense. So I don't think I really – C.J. Donaldson, I picked him rushing TDs, the biggest back, man, the more powerful back with the size. The receptions, I got Brandon Ennis because it was a toss-up between Max Clare and Brandon Ennis, the slot receiver and the tight end. Those are your first-time quarterback's best friends there. Yeah, man, you got any explanation to do there?
The reason I did see Yak, I was thinking BI or Max because of just what you said, and I think they're going to be creating separation more than the outside wide receivers, right? In terms of just receptions in general, I think they're going to feed JJ, and I think we have a savant back there at quarterback that has plenty of arm talent that has a connection with JJ back to high school, dating back to high school. I think he's going to look for him a lot.
Yeah. Okay, the Natural asked his own question. Who has the longest TD all year?
You answered it for me.
Yeah. Let me go. I'm gonna pick Mylan Graham and kick return. Here we go. Okay. Switching over to defense here, man. Sacks.
KJ.
Yep. KJ, sleep if you want to, ma'am. KJ, even though a little bit of a toss-up there because of the scheme, we know that Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles are going to be getting after the QB, so I was real tempted to choose Reese on that one, honestly. Tackles.
Sonny.
Yeah. Sonny was number 2 last year, right?
Cody
Simon was number 1. Yeah, so yeah, I got Sonny for the tackles. Tackles for loss.
This is where I went with – it was hard. I was going to go K-Mac, but then I'm like, KJ – I think KJ is going to have close to – I think he's going to have over 12 sacks. So that's a lot. Those count as tackles for losses. So I went KJ.
Oh, those do count as tackles for losses?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I picked Arvell Reese because he was my toss-up for the sack one, so I just split them both, right?
Gotcha.
Interceptions.
This is where I had Jalen McClain. I think he's going to lead the team in interceptions. He's a ball hawk. He's fast. He's rangy. He's long. And he has great eyes, and he can dissect offenses pretty well. He's not level of Caleb Downs, but Caleb Downs is going to have so much other stuff to do that he's going to be responsible for that, I think. And people aren't going to throw his way, right? They're going to test. I think where they're going to test us is with Jalen McClain and Davison Igbenogson. Every quarterback knows Davison led the country, all the coaching staff in terms of pass interferences and penalties. So they're going to get tested more than Caleb Downs.
Yeah. That's that is a very good pick, man. It was a toss up between him and Jermaine Matthews for me.
Yeah.
I chose Jermaine Matthews.
I love it.
I think he's going to end up being one of the best corners nationally that we see. You could almost put him underrated, even though we have super high expectations for him, but I just think he has the ability to even go above those expectations. Let's go PBUs, man. I'd be really surprised if me and you don't have the same answer here, to be honest with you. But
I got
PBUs,
IGB.
Yeah, I got IGB too.
That's crazy because we never talked about this, and I was shocked.
No.
I'm like, I wasn't expecting you to pick him, to be honest with you. But
I picked him because of the conversations me and you have had. You really opened my eyes to Iggy with get your head around. If you think about it, if that's what he focused on this year, then instead of those PIs, what's he going to get?
Yeah.
PBUs, right? Or possibly interceptions.
Exactly.
But he's a little bit physical. Iggy's not the type to me that goes for the interceptions. He had that one interception in the end zone against Penn State because it literally fell into his chest. He wasn't trying for the interception. He was just trying to don't let that dude catch the ball. I just think that's his style of play there, man. All right. We're down towards the end of the list. The 2025 class, or is it the 2024 class? Is that what we call it? The 2024 class? Yeah. The 2024 class was loaded with studs, man. Absolutely loaded. So who do you got? We're going to do the most impactful freshman on offense and on defense. Chat, need you to tune in here for sure. Matter of fact, Mello, let's let the chat answer a little bit before
while
we
they
do.
answer,
Chat.
I want to hit what you were saying about Jermaine Matthews,
All right.
but you can let them know real quick, and then I'll hit it.
Chat, let's start with most impactful freshman on offense. Go. It's on you. Mello's going to be talking while you guys put your answers in the chat.
In terms of Jermaine Matthews, the reason I didn't put him down for most INTs, I don't think they're going to throw the ball his way that much. I think he's a pure shutdown corner, somewhat like what Devin Sanchez is going to be when he plays, right? So I think they're not going to test him that much. That's not the side you want to test. He's the strongest of the DBs right now. So you're going to go away from him.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point, man. Mika has Bo Jackson as the most impactful freshman. Elite Sport Talking has Turbo on offense and Devin Sanchez on defense. Yeah, you guys can go ahead and put your defensive one in there too. You know we're going to do it. So
yeah.
I think maybe the chat might be behind. Not many people are answering the question, but Jeffrey got Jackson on there. The natural pick Sanchez, and I'm just going to just straight up just tell you, you guys have picked both my picks so far. Mello, who you got on offense?
Offense, I have Bo Jackson.
Yep, me too. If you think about it, the next one you would pick would be what, Quincy Porter or Nate Roberts, and both those rooms are just loaded, right?
Exactly.
The running back room wasn't loaded at all. I mean, it had James Peoples and had to get a transfer, but there was just more of an opportunity for Bo Jackson. That doesn't mean he wouldn't have came in and took somebody's spot, because the dude is his snaps are just going to increase every time he plays. You just wait and see, man. But let's see on defense, man.
For me, I was going to pick Sanchez, but I knew you were going to pick Sanchez. And I wanted to give my boy Riley Pettyjohn some love, because I think we're going to have 2 freshman All-Americans.
Yeah, that's a good pick, man. I mean, obviously, we already know the reason why we wouldn't pick him is because of the loaded room. However, with the way the defense is going to be used this year with Matty P, loves players like Riley Pettyjohn that are just absolute physical freaks. I think I believe he's the fastest linebacker on the team with the 10-yard and 20-yard shuttles.
The only people that ran it faster was JJ, and there was another wide receiver.
Was it Bryson or no?
Yeah, Bryson Rogers. That's it.
That's what I thought.
That's the only people that ran it faster on the entire team.
Bryson Rogers could have been an underrated one too, because everybody be talking about.
He's going to play. I see a lot of people sleeping on him. He's the number 4 receiver.
He's the number 4 receiver, guys.
He's literally the backup slot to BI. He's going to play over Mylan Graham. I'm sorry to tell you that, but Mylan Graham is probably going to play more. He might be outside.
Yeah, we'll see, but I totally agree with that, man. Bryson Rogers is going to be the number 4 receiver, and I don't think it's going to be that close to be. No. I just don't, man. I mean, Bryson Rogers played a lot last year.
Bryson.
Yeah.
He is elite.
Really, but yeah, I got Devin Sanchez, man. I think you look at our corner, you got Aaron Scott, and the other outside backup would be Devin Sanchez, and that's a battle right there on who's going to get in. And I think he's going to have a lot of playing time there. Mello, I wanted to kind of switch a little bit. Tomorrow, we're going to dive into Texas, talk about the matchups, their D-line versus our O-line, doing a little research on the Texas. Mello, I'm going to be calling you probably tomorrow and getting some names from you and your thoughts too. And we'll be a little more in tune there. Let's hit this real fast. Don't sleep on Jarquez Carter as an impact. If you guys watch the Buckeye Boys, man, I know we're not the only people, but if you watch the Buckeye Boys, you will know. You can go back and look before he ever signed in this class, when we knew the Buckeyes were after him. We went and watched his film, and we came on here literally that day because we were so excited when we watched his film and said, holy crap, dude, we need this kid.
And then we had him on the show. Yeah, after that, we watched the film, right? But you don't really know the character of the person, because there's a lot of people that are talented. I grew up around some of the most talented people on God's green earth, seriously. And they didn't make it because they didn't make the right choices. They had character issues, family issues that led them astray, right? They had Satan and the devil working in their life. This kid was so impressive during this interview. I took the film and what he was talking to us about, he did it in the car. He was just literally left the gym. You remember he pushed the show back because he's like, I got to work out. And it was like a random day. There was no reason for him to be working out.
Second time in the gym that day.
And we took the combination of both, and immediately I was like, yo, this kid is going to be special. Very special kid.
Yeah, man. So he's a big-time friend of the Buckeye boys. He's been on the show, I think, 2 or 3 times, and we talk outside of the show quite a bit, not so much in season, but beforehand. And, Mello said it perfectly. You watch the film, and then you see who he is as an individual, his support group around him. And what do you want your lineman? If you had to make a lineman in the lab, what would you want his number one favorite thing on this earth to be? Lifting weights. Yep. And that is Jarquez Carter. That's his favorite thing to do. He will tell you that. He is obsessed with the weight room. So, and Mello called him Baby Sap one time, man. And,
he is.
Yeah, dude. He got brought up by Larry Johnson and by Ryan Day. So
multiple times. Man,
yeah.
And don't forget Tyleek Williams, because players tell the truth more than even the coaches. And Tyleek, when he was going to the draft, he posted Jarquez Carter on his social media. I haven't seen him post anybody else that's like in terms of on the team. They're like, yo, watch for him. He is a dude.
Yeah. No doubt, man. So we'll see. You got Tywan Malone back there. You heard Ryan Day today talk about how many defensive tackles are going to be rotating. He said Tywan Malone, he said Will Smith Jr., and he said Jarquez Carter, right?
Yep.
There's a couple in there. Jason Moore injured, but as soon as that's over with, he'll be rotating as well. And Eric Mintz is another one that's going to be sneaking in there, getting some snaps. But the fact that, again, defensive tackle, that his name's been brought up by position and head coach, keep an eye on it, man. But
I did another category, man. I did a bold prediction I didn't tell you about.
Okay.
I got good. Ryan Day winning 2 different Coach of the Year awards, the AP and then the Dodd. The Dodd is more about like integrity of your team. GPA is more scholastic on top of it and on the field. And we already know in terms of the classroom, we're elite. We're up there with Harvard. So I think we're going to be elite. I think if we stay healthy, we're running it back. So for me, I have Ryan Day winning the AP National Coach of the Year and then the Dodd National Coach of the Year.
Yeah. I did a little something extra too. I like that prediction, by the way. Ryan Day, I think, is going to coach at a different level this year. You get that monkey off your back. That's my main reason for the confidence on the last game of the regular season this year will be that in particular. But I did a little something, man, because everybody's worried about the recruiting class, right? So I did a little something, man, and I went ahead and I looked, okay, so how many seniors and juniors do we have contributing to this team, right? Let me give you the list of seniors, right? The 2022 class that are going to make an impact this year. We got Christian Bennett, right? The 3rd or 4th tight end on the team. Carson Hinsman, starting center. There's 1. Caden Curry, starting defensive end. There's 2. Kenyatta Jackson, starting defensive end. There's 3. Tegra Shabola, starting right guard. Sonny Styles, starting linebacker. There's 5. And then you got CJ Hicks as well. Those are the seniors that are going to make impacts. 5 of them are starting. So what you're saying here, Devin, is that out of one recruiting class, as long as you can get 5 of those guys to eventually be starters on your team, you're going to be good. Now, what I want you to do, go look at the 2021 class, pick out 5 players from that and ask yourself if you think they're going to be starters, and use the same position groups if you would like. To answer my own question, there was 100% at least 5 starters in that 2025 class that we currently have signed. Juniors, this is a big list. Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, Malik, Jelani, Jason Moore, Luke, K-Mac, Jermaine, Will Smith, Arvell, Bryce Rogers, Josh Padilla, Austin Saraveld. Josh Mix is on there too, but Carnell starter, B.I. starter, Luke starter, K-Mac starter, Jermaine starter, Arvell starter, Austin Saraveld starter. There's 7. So 5 from one class, 7 from the other class. The rest is made up of transfer portal guys. So we have 12 starters that were originally signed in our classes. That means that the other 10 starters are made up of either sophomores, J.J. Smith, Jalen McClain as well, or, right, so that's going to mean that, so that's 12, that's 14, so 8. So we're starting 8 transfers on the team this year, if that math I just did is correct there. So just to put you guys perspective of recruiting class, man. So focus on that, man. And then you look at our loaded 24 class that we have, man. The freshmen, the Devin Sanchez, the Riley Pettijohn, the TJ Alford, the Tavian St. Clair, the Jake Cook, the Carter Lowe, the Fahim Delane, the Quincy Porter, so look at that.
Desi
this is
Jones.
What teams are made of. So I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of a perspective of, okay, when we're looking at a recruiting class and we're judging it, we need to judge it based off of how's it going to impact this team 3 or 4 years from now. So 3 years from now, when this class are juniors, are at least 5 to 7 of those guys going to start? If they are, and are they going to start and make the same impact that Carson, Caden, KJ, Tegra, and Sonny are going to? I am very confident that they will, possibly more. Then I think we can look at this class and say, is it success and is living up to Ohio State standards? So, Mello, you got anything to add to that?
You said it perfectly. There's a lot of people that are sleeping on this class. They're sleeping on the current class. People you guys watch, you like. I think they're just ignorant and they don't really know ball, and they have you guys bamboozled because they have good ambiance and they might speak properly for you guys, but they really don't know ball. And just listen to them, keep listening, and then watch what happens on the field, and you'll see like what they're saying never adds up because they're just kind of doing like Wiltfong does and these other guys. They just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. But I wanted to bring this up.
Okay, real fast, just to finish that out real fast.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's real easy to just throw stuff out there about recruiting classes because think about it. I mean, once the season starts, once the Texas game is played, everybody forgets what everybody said about the recruiting class.
Exactly.
And when's the next time we're going to talk about this recruiting class? Probably when they're sophomores or juniors. So that's 2 years. Are you going to remember something a show said from 2 to 3 years ago about a recruiting class? No, you're not. So people know that. It's real easy to throw out, hey, man, this recruiting class sucks. Hey, oh, my God, what is Ohio State doing? It's real easy to do that, right? And I'm just saying, do I have an inkling of concern about what the Buckeyes will do? Yes, I do. How much is it? I mean, it is so minimal, it's not even funny. I am very happy with this recruiting class. But, Mello, what you got there?
So, a.k.a. Mr. Lance, poses a great question. How many games into the season before an opposing team's offensive line gets called for holding? That stat was so glaring last year, it wasn't funny. Agreed. And me and Dev saw it personally at the Rose Bowl. They were holding like crazy. They could have called holding almost every play against us. But, I mean, at the same time, I'm wondering, were the refs like just having a heart for the Quacks because they were getting bludgeoned so badly? But at the end of the day, you got to call the game like you called it. And if you look at Texas's first touchdown pass to Jaden Blue, Kelvin Banks literally had KJ by the neck with a clothesline. And I'm not complaining about it. I just hear Texas like, well, you guys held Colin Simmons the whole game. You were holding too. And the refs called it perfectly. If you're not going to call it one way, don't call it the other way. Just let them play out. Now, if they were throwing flags on Texas for doing it, then you have something to complain and a gripe about. But they didn't throw flags either way. And you scored literally a touchdown off of it. We didn't score off of any holdings or penalties.
This is how you can judge that based off. So we know, what is the national media's overall perspective of Ohio State? Very few hype them up. Very few have too many good things to say about them. I would say for the most part, man, I mean, this is fan or no fan, this is how I look at it. When you're the most successful college football program, you're also going to have the most haters. The only way you can have the most haters is if you are the best. second and third best, you're not going to have the most haters. Why? Because you're the second and third best. And listen, maybe I'm just completely blinded, but I say that with like no Buckeye scarlet glasses on. But the winning percentage in the last 20 years doesn't lie. This isn't my opinion. That's what it shows. And because of that, there's this overall Paul Finney ball with man, they're going to be hung over from the national, all that stuff. Like, man, what? Come on, give me something else. What's your other reasoning why Texas is going to blow us out? Give us something actually football related other than the natty hangover, because we can look at Georgia and say, well, they didn't have one. What's going on here, Paul Finney? So what I mean, I was setting it up to say this. At the end of the year last year, the national media was talking about the lack of holding calls against Ohio State. That should tell you all you need to know. They during the streams, they were like, I remember when the holding call got called in Texas, they were like, you're never going to believe it. Guess what just got called? And it was pretty wild. So, Mello, what you got there? And we got to wrap
Man,
this thing up.
I want to hit Paul Feinbaum. I like that you brought him up. So for me, for Paul to say they're not hungry, then Paul, you're oblivious. You need to pay attention outside of just the SEC, because the first thing this team did was take down anything national championship related. That should tell you that they're super focused. We got Caleb Downs. You should know he played in SEC. You predicted him to go to UGA. I knew he was never going there. They did his family too dirty for so long. There was not a chance in hell he was going there. So you hate the Big Ten so much and you hate Ohio State. You self-proclaimed this out of your mouth that you're sitting here talking some trash that you don't know about. This team is super hungry. We have recruits that come on that have visited UGA. One committed to UGA, by the way, but that's because Ohio State pretty much rescinded his offer. He wanted to be a Buckeye, and that one had nothing to do with NIL. They've been to Texas, been to Oregon practices, and they all said the same thing. On here and offline, Ohio State practices are different, and it's intense, it's physical, and it's competitive. Every single one. One went to Texas Tech, signed a massive deal, came out of his mouth as well. So for you to say that this team is not hungry, I need you to get off the ESPN desk and come to a practice and look with your own eyes, and then have the balls to say the same thing.
Yeah, pretty wild, man, for sure. But somebody said in the chat something about Peyton Pierce, if he was overhyped. No, not at all. There's just, we can't talk about every player, every podcast, but Peyton Pierce is on the same level, different skill set than Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese. He's got the skill sets that isn't going to get him on a top 10, right?
But he's
Sonny Styles, yeah, he's going to play a lot. He is considered a starter on this football team. Thanks for the super chat, aka Mr. Lance. How many games into the season did we already? Oh,
you read that.
You just did that. My bad, dude. Thanks for the. Oh, that was just a star thing. It wasn't a super chat. I'm losing my mind right now. Okay. Anyway, let's get to the. You're good, dude. I don't know why I just did that, but let's get to the trivia question. We'll get off here, and I believe it is B. Moses and Funky tonight next. So tune into that, man. It's going to be a good one. Here we go, everybody. For 5 points, Steely now has 18. The Natural now has 20. The Natural, you missed a late night show we did last night, but here we go, man. Somebody is 100% going to know this question. So are we ready? Is everybody ready? 4, 5 points. Who is the only receiver in the last 25 years to lead Ohio State in scoring? Dang, maybe somebody's not going to get it. I don't see it yet. Still don't see it.
Nope.
No. No. Carlos, bro, don't you got something to do,
Roman
man?
Wilson's about to get cut. By the way,
Yeah.
he's trash.
Dang, ain't nobody gonna get it, man.
Nope.
I gotta find a different question. Dang, guys, you let me down on that one, honestly. I
Who
thought
was
for
it?
sure you were
I
getting
think I got an idea, but who was it?
It's Paris Campbell.
Okay.
Paris Campbell. Okay, let's try this one out. Offensive line question. Okay. 2 years before Orlando Pace won the award, which Ohio State lineman was the first offensive lineman to be named Big Ten Freshman of the Year?
That's crazy.
You don't think anybody's going to know that one?
No, I mean, like, to be an offensive lineman and get Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
Yeah.
Think about how much running they probably did, like running the ball back then. They did run the ball a lot.
Somebody's. Yeah, there we go. Russ, you got it. Corey String.
And I didn't even get to press play.
I know. Mika said we need a new book. I thought those were two really good questions. I think we did. All right, Russ.
It was a beast.
Russ got that one right. That's who I said. All right, Russ. You now have I'll see here. Okay, you got 11, dude. All right, catching up there, Russ. I'm guessing I thought the other show was starting at 8:20 tonight, but I guess they're already going. Somebody said Nevada's on there. I didn't know that. But anyway. Hey, y'all. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to dive into the Ohio State Texas game, X's and O's. Maybe have a few more predictions about the game in particular. We need you guys to show up. Please hit that subscribe button. Please become a member on the Buckeye Boys channel for $1.99 a month if you have not already. Like, subscribe, share, do all that for us so we can give more back to you guys. On that note, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Go Buckeyes. OH.
IO.